TikTok tradwives are romanticizing an era where sexism and racism rule, frilly dresses, and white supremacy. Welcome to the weird, frightening world of tradwives. This movement is merely repacking and romanticizing the 1950s sexism, promoting outdated and misogynistic values, to make a new generation of women believe that they need to rely on men to lead their lives. Oh my god, the audacity!
We recently made a video about how the tradwife influencers are projecting a false reality on their social media platforms about their ideologies. We got such a good response that we thought we would delve deeper into the subject.
So today we've chosen a different perspective called Tradwives Are Triggering Feminists. The YouTuber Brett Cooper from the comments section has a lot to say on this subject. Let's see if we agree.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. On the right side of the political aisle, you hear trad being talked about all the time. You know, conservatives love trad everything. I love trad everything. You know, traditional values, traditional relationships, etc. It is definitely something that a lot of people aspire to, especially as a kind of, you know, counterculture to this modern era that we are experiencing that is so chaotic and confusing and where everything is utterly untraditional. And because this has become such a huge topic of conversation, the romanticism of the trad lifestyle and these trad things has made its way to TikTok in a big way. And the media is now very, very scared, which makes me very happy. Frilly dresses and white supremacy. Welcome to the weird, frightening world of tradwives. Oh my god, frightening. Literally calling it frightening. Immediately, and I have to admit, I was a bit prickly when I read this headline because part of me doesn't love the fact that the tradwife aesthetic on TikTok is just made up of women frolicking around in dresses and, you know, the cute little aesthetic videos. Because that's definitely not me. Look what I'm wearing. I'm not running around in a linen dress. So sometimes I look at those videos and I'm like, that's not the substance of the video. It's more than just the frilly dresses. Offer more. So I think that bothered me a bit. But that's just a me thing because I don't fit into that, traditional mold. Far from tradwives being a niche subculture confined to internet chat rooms, the movement's core tenets have gripped mainstream politics, and women and their allies should stop at nothing to defend their hard-won rights. You are afraid of the tradwives. You are afraid of the mothers. That's incredibly ironic because you say that a woman staying home is oppressive, that, women who are in traditional relationships, that they have no power, and yet you are so afraid of them. What does that say about mothers? That they are actually very influential? That they are actually very, very powerful and significant in the society? I would think about that before you keep writing that. You're so afraid of these tradwives because their lifestyle is appealing to women. Oh my gosh, it's made its way into mainstream politics and culture. Oh no!
I think there's a distinction to be made, isn't there, between tradwives and tradwife influencers. The tradwife influencers actually have quite a lot of power. Of course they do, because of their huge audience. I think it's the women who are watching it and who don't have any visibility and who might be in danger of losing their voice. A lot of these tradwives say that they don't have bank accounts, that they don't have any career history, any qualifications. They are literally not giving themselves any choices or options for a rainy day.
I think the issue is not with people making that choice, it's about the influencers projecting maybe a bit of a false image.
I think the danger is that they are projecting the idea that they are completely relying on a man, whereas actually, as we know, by having our own YouTube channel, they're probably actually making quite a lot of money. Now, whether that goes into a bank account in their name, I don't know. Or whether that goes directly to their husbands, I don't know. Maybe it depends on exactly how much they are committed to their tradwife lifestyle.
Yeah.
I do kind of hear what she's saying about the kind of aesthetic of tradwives, the cute little bows and little flowers and the 50s hair, and it's all very cutesy, yeah. And they look beautiful, don't get me wrong.
They look gorgeous, we're just dead jealous.
But I do think that that's not going to speak to every woman, as she says, and that's just one way that being feminine can look. Feminine can mean so many different things to different women, and I think there's so many different ways to embrace your femininity, so it's actually quite refreshing to see someone who looks a little different talking about it. It kind of opens up the conversation to other people, I think.
I think you should be free to dress how you like.
Yeah, and it's feminism that says that, and that it's allowed women to do that. I do think it's easy to knock feminism without fully taking into account everything that it allows us to do as women nowadays.
In researching the tradwife lifestyle, I cannot shake the feeling that this movement is merely repacking and romanticizing the 1950s sexism, promoting outdated and misogynistic values, to make a new generation of women believe that they need to rely on men to lead their lives. Oh my god, the audacity! That men and women complement each other, and that some women want to have husbands that lead, that they do not want effeminate soy boy husbands. I am so sorry that some women do not want that. Or maybe women are just burnt out, and they have realized that feminism has been lying to them for the last 50 years about motherhood and marriage actually being some kind of oppressive prison, and they're realizing, oh, maybe this is actually really nice. Oh my gosh, it is so frightening that these women are happy and healthy doing something that you're not doing, that they are actually in tune with what they were biologically designed to do. If you want to be in tune with your body, you need Bon Charge.
I kind of reject the idea that tradwifeism is part of our biology. It certainly doesn't feel like it's part of my biology. Yeah, I do think men and women can potentially complement each other, but then also you have same-sex couples in wonderful, harmonious relationships as well. So I think that that's kind of like, I don't know, it's just one way people can live and one way people can be. I think one thing that does concern me about this video is that it does seem to be pitting women against each other, you know, the us and the them, the traditionalists and the feminists. Whereas actually, there's a lot more colour and a lot more excitement in all the variations in women in the in-between area. She said it herself. She picks and chooses the part of this that she likes. She likes the values, but she doesn't like the aesthetic. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's what feminism allows us to do, and that's why we celebrate it, you know? I think a lot of people have been in this situation and want to share their stories so that other women can avoid it. Be a stay-at-home wife, be a homemaker, it's wonderful, but give yourself options and choices for if something happens to your husband, if he leaves you, if he passes away, if maybe he gets made redundant and you need another income suddenly.
Being a trad wife seems like everything is okay when everything is going okay, but there needs to be things in place for when times are more difficult and things can go wrong through no fault of either couple sometimes. Just, you know, things that life can throw at you. And, you know, it is lovely staying at home with the children and looking after a home, but also that is stressful. And so, and, you know, sometimes it's nice, you know, maybe to have a part-time job so you can actually escape sometimes, because, you know, we all know that children can be very stressful. Looking at nobody in particular. And sometimes it is nice just to, sometimes it's easier to go out to work, you know, because it is difficult. But then I think you appreciate the break because then you come home refreshed. What's important is that you find out as a family what works for you.
Alrighty, so here are the scary videos that have started to go viral. I pulled a few of them for you. I'm sure you've seen some of these creators. They're just like super wholesome videos.
We live in a day and age where traditional homemaking has been forgotten about and even looked down on, where women are fighting to be in the same positions as men, indoctrinated to focus more on their careers and less on the home. Somewhere along the line, feminine has been replaced with feminism, with the sole purpose of keeping women out of the home, which forces those to rely on the government to teach and raise our children. Marriage is falling apart because the God who created it is being left out of it, and an overall disconnect in the home.
I mean, there were only straight facts in that entire video. These videos are all very, very sweet.
I think the videos that she chose, are they sweet? I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily call them sweet.
Because also extreme feminism videos are harmful too, in my opinion. You know, videos that are completely the other way.
Yeah.
I think any extremes of an ideology can be very dangerous.
Yeah, and unfortunately it's always those voices that get heard, isn't it?
Yes.
Those are the voices that speak the loudest, and those are the ones that get the most attention. So I think that's why people are very kind of anti-feminist these days, because it's those voices that get amplified and it's those people that are pushed to the front.
Do you think that men are getting really confused about how us women feel about relationships and their roles in the relationship? Do you think men want to go back to a simpler time? Well, actually, I want a wife like that.
I think a lot of men maybe do. And I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, unless you want a woman that you can control. But what I think is great is that now every couple gets to choose exactly how their relationship looks. I feel like where there's more choices and more flexibility, that can only be a good thing in people's lives.
What do you think? Do you think trad wives are scary? Do you think feminists are scary? Do you think we're scary?
I would say yes. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then please give us a like, maybe share with a friend, and hit subscribe to follow us on YouTube.